You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hey everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Will Dog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
I'm just, hey guys. Hi. Hey.
And let's not forget Kyle the Coach Duggan.
You know what they say, we're not here for a good time. We're here for a long time.
That's right.
Yep, that is what they say.
You gotta know when to hold them.
Know when
to fold them.
No folding.
No,
long
there's no
time.
folding. Well, that's what you gotta know when.
We
ain't
don't-
there yet.
We have no victory shots. I'm sipping tea over here.
Yeah. It's a very
It's what you
alcoholic-free Sprite over here.
Yeah.
No.
This is a very sobering episode.
It is a sobering episode, folks. Lots to talk about here this Tuesday for you.
What day is it?
It'll be Tuesday by the time we finish this thing.
But yes, lots to talk about. Obviously, we've got this last game to look at. We've got a fresh, might lift your spirits, Brisket A'broads, a celebratory fan focus, and as always, a hefty Ask Boltfam. But let's
Hefty.
That's right.
Oi.
No wimpies over here, folks.
No.
Nothing but hefties. So, I mean, looking at this game, obviously, this is not the game that went the way that we expected it to go. It's unfortunate. But we are shamelessly positive here at the Charger Chat. And so we look for the shamelessly positive things to look at.
Yeah.
And one of which, in fact, I would probably say the biggest one, is Justin Herbert now has the most games by a player with over 300 passing yards in his first 3 seasons. The record is set. His name is there. He did it by, what week are we in? 13?
Yep.
So no asterisk of like, well, it took him 17 games or something like that. He did it in the allotted
with some
time.
room to spare.
That's right. Air and a spare. So congratulations, Mr. Herbert, for setting the record, putting your name in the history books for probably quite some time. I don't know who could possibly throw that record off, but definitely one of the positives to look at this game. One of the factual things to look at for this game.
One of the things we don't usually talk about.
It's not a positive. It's not a negative. It's just a fact. Timo Riske.
I like risque. It's way better. Yeah.
AKA PFF Moo tweeted out, Max Crosby and Chandler Jones both lived in the Chargers' backfield. They combined for 21 pressures in one game.
So I just want to talk about this offensive line real quick. Like, I haven't seen anything quite like that, like ever. Like, I haven't seen a complete.
There was some real
collapse of a pocket.
There was some real 2019 Phillip Rivers goodbye year vibes going.
I think even worse than that, dude.
That was
Dan Feeney's.
I would gladly have Sam Tebby and Dan Feeney in that lineup.
Yeah, it was hard
Pretty
to
rough.
watch, man. It was really just you wait for the offense to get on the field but you see what Justin can do. You give him an opportunity where he's on fourth down and 11.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that, and then I just want to say a big you suck ass to Max Crosby. I don't know if you saw that video of him poking
Jamari's eye.
Jamari Sawyer in the eye.
I couldn't believe that. I saw him doing that live, and it was just like, what? How is that not? I mean, I gotta hope that there's at least
there's got to be a fine. There's got to be.
There has to be. It's all over the internet.
That guy's
an
utter shithead.
Yeah,
so
utter dickhead.
Screw that guy. But in terms of our offensive line, man, I don't understand. Kyle, tell me, like, I don't understand why we were still running plays where it required Justin to stay in a pocket that wasn't going to exist. Like, why was he not rolling? Why? Every time he got sacked or got hit is when he had to step up in the pocket. He wasn't getting sacked off the edges. It was clap. Clap is not it. He is not it.
He's not Lindsley.
He is not Lindsley. He is not.
He made
much.
Yeah, he made Jerry Tillery look pretty impressive.
Look like a fucking stud muffin. And that guy sucks, by the way. Like, okay, now you want to figure out
I
how
know
to play
that's what I was
fucking
gonna say.
football?
We wasted a first round pick on you. You give us 4 years of absolute dog crap. Now all of a sudden you're good at football because you have something
you're
to
mad.
play for.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
it's like
mad.
you didn't
Fuck
have
that
anything
guy.
to play for us.
That's
I don't know. Yeah,
that was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, dude, you
You've been
need
sitting
to
on
get
this for
mad.
4
You need
years?
something
Yeah.
to do. Like, whatever. It was a joke. But I don't understand why we didn't try and plan for more rolling, get him out of the pocket that wasn't going to exist, make him, make those crazy throws that got our one touchdown to Keenan Allen. Like, I don't know. I was in kind of shock with what was happening with our offense yesterday. Other than Kelly looked pretty darn good when you handed him the ball. He was fighting for yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how I can't give you answers. I don't know really anything. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how 6-6 is a reality for our football team. When in reality, like, we've won a ton of really tight, close games that could have gone either way. It's like I'm so confused. Like, I'm shamelessly positive that we'll turn this thing around, and I'm putting those vibes out into the universe so that we can get a dub on Sunday night against the Dolphins. But I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Like, play calling, I don't know what the idea. We don't have an identity. We still do not have an identity around what our offense is. Because it's like, oh, we're the short underneath passing team. We play the Raiders, and it seems like we're sitting in the pocket for a really long time, waiting for stuff to develop downfield, like, all of a sudden. And it's just, it's very, very bizarre. Like, a team that's pass rushing the crap out of you, you'd expect to see a couple screens, which we love to run. We run a gajillion screens a game. Now those have kind of shut down a little bit this week. Like, didn't see nearly as many screen attempts. I don't know. It's just a very bizarre. Coach is still trying to figure out what, like, week to week with who we have and what our identity can be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it was crazy too, because everyone's so pissed off about this yards, how much we're giving up on the run game in terms of our defense. But our defense played crazy that start of that game. Like, they had us in that pick six. Like, they were stopping everything. And
that Devontae Adams touchdown to start the third quarter, Zalt was in perfect position. He was right there to make the play. That was not a matter of
touched it too.
Yeah.
He touched the ball.
It was not a matter of like bad defense. It was just that little bit of finishing a play, and Devontae Adams is ridiculously good at football.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, I don't think the defense was, I don't know, they weren't great, obviously, but I don't think it was, that's just where the Chargers keep you. I just feel like I'm stuck in this weird twilight zone of, are we, like, what are we? Are we okay? Like, it looked okay.
Are we okay?
It looked okay, but it wasn't
Right.
that okay. But they scored. But he's really good. But it was okay. It's like, I don't know what to think.
I mean, it was still a one possession game. That's how Charger games are. I mean, with the losses that we've had, we've gotten blown out, but we've had wins and losses that we've won by either a score or a point, or, they're just very close games. So at the very least, you can say that the defense was keeping us in the game.
Yeah.
Because the offense really just couldn't get anything going. The touchdown didn't happen until the fourth quarter.
On fourth down.
On a fourth down,
Throw
fourth
it
and
up there and
12.
see what happens. Yeah.
Well, and super weird Austin fumble. Like, I just don't, it was just, I don't know. It felt
A little
weird.
uncharacteristic.
We came out like, I just feel strongly we need to start with the ball from now on. We come out in the second half, and we don't do shit with the football.
There's no
when we
point in us
defer.
having the ball to start the second half.
Start the game, go fast, go hot, get as much as you can in the first half, because the third quarter, the beginning of the third quarter,
we haven't scored since week 6 in the third quarter.
Crazy. That is the
Week 13.
craziest stat. And we've been pretty, defending, the coaching staff a lot. There is something to be said for this continually being a problem on the offense. It really is. Adjustments, I don't know what's going on at halftime, but we're not doing much, guys. It's just a reality.
Like you said, the offensive line wasn't doing anybody any favors. If anything, the run game was looking kind of solid. Like Austin Eckler and Joshua Kelly were getting some pretty solid runs there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to pass protection, you're asking a line that at one point, I mean, Zion Johnson left the game at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 4 backups.
So you got 4 backups in the offensive line. The only remaining starter was Matt Filer.
And he's been
of
one
all
of the,
people,
one of the lower rated of all of our linemen this year.
Exactly.
When all of our guys are in.
So you're asking for somebody to step up for Corey Linsley, the guy who's not only a team captain, but arguably the best center in the league. You're asking for a rookie to come in and step in for Rashawn Slater, arguably the best left tackle in the league. And then you're asking Brendan Hymas to come in for Zion Johnson, and you're asking for Foster Sorrell, who hadn't played an NFL snap since a couple weeks ago, to come and step in for Trey Pipkins, who's been doing pretty well. So it's like, I can't be all that surprised that the offensive line didn't hold their own.
I can't believe there's such a big drop off in the NFL. Like, you're still a professional football player on a roster getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. How is there that big of a drop off? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer.
No, for sure.
I cannot believe that there's that gigantic of a drop off at all 4 of our backup spots. It's like, I don't know. There's just a lot of college football players out there that you would assume there's enough to have 2 deep at every offensive line spot.
Yeah, it was a rough game.
Tough. It was
very tough game.
We'll leave that where it belongs.
Yeah, I mean, and for anything, for them to keep us in it, for Justin Herbert to keep us in it all the way up until basically the last quarter, it's like we're not out of it until it's not over till it's over.
That's
and then,
what's so crazy about this team.
Yeah,
we have a chance to win every single one of these games because we have Justin Herbert. It's just people getting in his way, people getting in and making more speed bumps than are necessary. But that's a great problem to have, really. Like, we still have Justin Herbert.
Right.
So anything is possible.
Yeah. And when we say that there's still a possibility, we absolutely mean it. Because if you look over at Lindsey Theory on Twitter, tweeted out, despite yesterday's loss to the Raiders, the Chargers still have a 56.9% chance of earning a playoff berth per ESPN analytics.
Our percentage went up than it did the previous week because of how some of those games
everyone else
out.
Lost. Like, if we take care of business against the Raiders.
We were watching the games. Almost everyone lost. Remember that that Broncos game, the Ravens?
Broncos game, yeah.
The Broncos they suck so bad, dude.
Yeah, let's all be thankful we're not the Broncos.
Just be thankful. Thanksgiving all over again.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we were talking about injuries here, Ian Rappaport tweeted out about Sebastian Joseph Day. We saw go down near the end. Initially, he was still getting tests on his injured knee, but the belief was it wasn't a major injury. But then it came out that he had a sprained MCL that came from Brandon Staley, and the Chargers will know more later in the week.
If he will play. So they did say we can't lose any more players. It just, at some point, it's just an unsurmountable
We're still at the
hill.
Bottom of that tough list or buff list or whatever the most
We're going to be in the 40s
now.
We were 50. We're going to be in the 40s now after that game. It's just insane what's happening with these injuries. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. Well, a slight glimmer of hope on the horizon. Daniel Popper tweeted out that Donald Parham is expected to return to practice this week. Brandon Staley said, activating his 21-day window. Parham has been on IR since November 5th. So another target for Justin Herbert. Yeah.
He's clutch, dude. He's great to have, but I just want our offensive lineman.
Dude,
that's the most important thing for me right
we
now.
have no tight end to throw to right now. I thought we were throwing to Stone Smart there in the end of the hour.
We were like, who
number
is
48? Is that even eligible to go catch passes?
Adam said the same thing. He's like, who is that? He's like, it's Smart.
Because it was like, did an O-lineman go downfield and catch a ball? Like, who was that?
Did they declare as eligible? Was that okay?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's tough, man.
It's very tough. It's very tough. And then some other injury updates. This came from Daniel Popper, tweeted it out, but this came from Brandon Staley. Zion Johnson ended up being a shoulder injury that took him out of the game briefly. He is day-to-day. Bryce Callahan dealing with a core muscle injury is day-to-day.
God, I love that guy. Pick
He's
six.
just
Holy
such
shit.
a signing,
one of the
dude.
best signings of this offseason.
The most
100%.
impactful
Him and Matt,
one, it feels like.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Corey Linsley still dealing with concussion protocol, so no real update from him yet.
It's not good.
Trey Pipkins' knee is day-to-day, and Mike Williams' ankle is day-to-day, but should practice this week.
You need those guys. We need as many of these guys back as possible to beat the Dolphins, dude. They're just we're gonna have to put up points. We're gonna have to put up points to compete with them. It's just what it is. And we need, especially these offensive linemen, we need Corey and we need Trey back. And if we can get, I'm just counting on Zion already being able to play, but we need Mike back, dude. We need Mike and Keenan out there on the field at the same time.
We need our guys back.
This isn't. There's still so many guys that we haven't even talked about in weeks that are on the IR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our entire defensive line's on the IR. So I don't know. We just to give us a chance to do something, got to get these guys back. I'm just praying to God it happens.
Yeah. The one, I mean, the big one that everybody is like, when is he coming back? Is Joey Bosa, and there's still really no
news.
update.
No.
His
on
little
him.
tweet, his little Instagram story, that was not very kind. I don't know if he was trying to encourage people. I was like, oh, he's coming back. Do
that the week before you come back.
Yeah, like do it as like a little.
He was probably getting a lot of people going like, hey man, we could really use you. Are you coming back anytime soon? And he was just like, look, I would love to be out there right now. It's killing me to not be out there, but trust me, I am working as hard as I can to get out there. So I'm sure it was the masses were just probably clamoring and clogging up his inbox with DMs, just going like, please come back. And he just needed to put out something.
Bosa, come back. We need some extra sacks. Shit.
Yeah. And then Staley's quote on his message to the team today regarding playoff standings. Staley said they know where we are at in the AFC. They are aware that there are 2 teams with 9 wins, 2 teams with 8 wins. Then there are a couple of teams with 7 wins. Then there are 2 teams with 6 wins. Way to break it down.
Thanks, Coach.
There's a lot of teams better than us.
We are a game out right now, and we are playing a team with 8 wins this week. A team that is a good football team, a team that played a team that we played recently.
A dude acting like a dude playing
Disguised as another dude.
dude.
So that felt like
It's about this week. You guys have heard me say it after the bye week. The games do mean more as you go on. Every week, they are going to mean more and more because you are getting closer to the end, and there is a lot at stake in terms of positioning, but you have to pour yourself into that week, and that's where our focus is. It's on Miami. My focus is on getting our team back physically, getting a couple of players back, and having a good week of practice and finding out how to win this game. That's what our approach is going to be this week.
So I think if we do make the playoffs, it's going to be exactly how we're winning all these games. It is going to come down to the last week. And we're going to be playing our game against the Broncos, right? Hopefully winning, and then waiting to see what happens. I feel like that's how it's going to finish up.
Yeah, I don't even think about like playoffs. Who's winning? Who's losing? It's like,
It's just getting
I just
more
want to see
real.
us play better football. Like
Yeah,
we have
right.
to
Start
win.
there.
Like, we've lost 2-3 out of the last 4 weeks. What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
Right.
So we need to start playing
rough
better
one.
football if we're going to even consider squeaking into the playoffs. Like, what's the point of squeaking into the playoffs if you have nobody on your roster, everyone's hurt, and you're playing like garbage? You know, like we got to start playing better football.
We have to. And so, it's just like when everybody's like, what do you think what other weeks you're looking forward to? It's like, I'm just like Staley. It's like, I'm just looking forward to Miami. That's all I can do is just look forward to Miami and hope to see a better game, hope to see a better team out there.
And on a positive note, we didn't bring this up. That fake punt was awesome.
Wow.
Was super rad. And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
The cameraman didn't even know what was going on. Like they did it, and we didn't even get a view of the game. It faked everyone out. So at least they're trying that kind of stuff. Like, do what you got to do to win. I don't give a shit how it happens. Just,
They got
I also love seeing Keenan fired up, talking smack after his touchdown.
There was a lot of smack talk on both sides of the teams, and obviously, for him to shut it down there with a 4th and 12 touchdown.
Well, they were just tackling him all game. Like that was clearly the game plan. Like, let's tackle Keenan. If you take some penalties, but we're just going to tackle him on every play. Yeah,
and then they got away with one at the very end too, which was sealed the deal.
Yeah. Well, if you want to seal our deal, you can go on over to patreon.com/ChargerChat. Check out all the fun stuff we've got going on over there. Lots of fun, hilarious videos. And we've got a couple new Patreon members. We want to shout them out. Bruce Gade and Hunter Palakpak. Hunter
Great name.
Palakpak. Great
Love
name.
that last name.
Great
Thank
name.
you guys for joining our Patreon. We greatly appreciate it. So if you feel like it, go on over to patreon.com/chargerchat. Check out some of the funny stuff, exclusive videos that we've got over there. And if you don't want to check that out, that's okay. You can go on over to chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we've got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in our members section and ask questions in Ask Boltfam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right. Well, it's time to turn those frowns upside down because we've got our next segment. I expect nothing but big laughs from these two lovely ladies. It's time for Brisket A'broads.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's no place they wouldn't try to hang out with Justin and his squad. Get ready to hear their positive thoughts. It's time for Brisket A'broads. Okay, whatever. The most important thing to remember is
family, trust, and respect.
yeah, did we trick the Raiders fans so that they answered family, trust, respect?
Yeah.
And was it hard to do?
Not at all. They're dumb.
They're so dumb. Look at this guy try and spell respect.
RSVP, respect.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even surprised.
Do I feel bad for making fun of this guy? No. I wish that we could make fun of the Raiders fans more. I wish we had more footage of all the dumb things they say and do. Look at this dumb Raiders kid trying to catch football, and he can't.
Oh, what a loser. Oh my gosh, that was so dumb.
He's so dumb.
Look at this dumb kid trying to high five Kyle Van Noy, and he's like, no, you're dumb. I'm glad I'm not a kid who likes the Raiders.
Yeah, because then I'd be freaking dumb. Now we'll read a text message Mary received from her mother post-game.
I hate to think of y'all at that game with all those dark-souled Raiders. They look so evil. Chargers number 10 is an angel, and Raiders number 10 is a demon. Yeah, Mom. That's so accurate.
Before we get into the 5-point essay we wrote supporting Becky's claim, we should probably just actually give you a recap of the game day and...
Yeah. Well, to start it off, we had a pretty crazy travel day because we were in Connecticut. We needed to get to Las Vegas. So
Las Vegas.
Hard.
There are 2 red eyes involved in this whole thing. Our brains are not functioning at the highest capacity for multiple reasons. Mostly we'll blame lack of sleep.
Yeah. Also, we're sad.
So our game day started at
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We drove to the Bradley something airport in Hartford. I don't know what that stands for.
And then we walked into the airport.
We were pretty pumped at this point.
That wasn't even my best moonwalk. So then we flew from Connecticut to Las Vegas. Mary wanted to be in tip-top shape for the game, so she just did some light stretches and high knees in the aisle.
Let's ride. Everybody loved it.
We arrived in Las Vegas at 1:30 a.m. And then took an Uber to our hotel and apparently slept probably. And then had to wake up and get ready. And then we went and got to watch Chargers football. Which, hey, win or lose, we all got to watch Chargers football.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. What more could you want? I mean, you want them to win.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, at least we're not Raiders fans.
Yeah.
Okay?
There's something to be thankful for, you guys.
Oh, I should also mention, I know we didn't win, but I was like, screw it. I want Justin Herbert to be close to my heart right now. I want to wear this because victory is in the eye of the beholder, just like Kevin says.
Does Kevin say that? Yeah.
It sucks to lose. It's true.
Yeah, it hurts.
But there's a lot of great things that happened yesterday. We want to make sure to give them their proper due.
Like the Chargers tailgate. There were a lot of other great moments from the game, like when Chris Hayrie walked by and we said his name and he looked happy that we said his name.
He looked super excited, like he knew who we were. He pointed to us. I mean, you just saw in the clip. I don't need to tell you. Another moment we loved was when Tom Telesco was walking under the tunnel and we yelled, "Hey, Tom Telesco," and he looked up and waved. Tom Telesco! Yeah! It was Tom Telesco!
This is exhilarating.
Another favorite that will always be a favorite is getting to see Justin Herbert hug people.
The best.
Because he's an angel.
And we also said hi to Bash and he smiled at us. And we love that. He was so happy at the beginning of the game.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Our seats were over the tunnel this time, so that was pretty cool, getting to see them run out of the tunnel. I guess we should also talk about the stadium and the food. But it feels weird to talk about the Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium, as they call it.
It's like, who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? It's a garbage place for garbage people and players.
Who cares what it looks like? Who cares what the food tastes like? You're only going there because you have to. It's like school or prison. But whatever, I guess this is what it looks like. Yeah. How would you describe it?
It looks like a big, dumb Roomba vacuum.
Yeah, dumb Roomba.
Yeah, the inside looks like you went to a funeral and someone died and you're all here just being upset about it.
They do have really good music and a live band, and they play fun songs that just don't make any sense.
They played Footloose.
They played
Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
good stuff that just doesn't belong.
It doesn't fit the vibe.
No.
Like, what are you going for? Do you want this to be a good time? Well, then a different team should be here with different fans. You should definitely keep the live band and the food, though.
The food, stupid, but actually tasted pretty good.
Yeah, I hate it, and I hate that it tasted good.
Yeah.
Roll it.
That's good.
I mean, it's funny that hot dog looked like baby poop.
Yeah. It's funny that they had to specify this was non-alcoholic ice cream.
So in between all of that, a football game happened.
You guys know.
Luckily, we have some cool friends who were able to get us into the Winfield Club afterwards. We tried to dance our pain away.
Yeah.
It kind of went like, we'd dance for like 20 seconds and then one of us would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And like,
Why?
Why did we lose? And like, I freaking hate the Raiders. And then you just like, also one of my favorite moments, because Blake told all of his friends about my autograph book, so then they kept wanting to look at it, and so then it was just funny, like this like club setting of like these people like breaking it down, getting jiggy with it, and then these like two men just looking at this little book of drawings of their favorite football players. I just love that.
Yeah. We partied there till we got shut down at 6 p.m.
They're like, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. We've literally never gone to a club.
No. Can you tell?
We bid a respectful adieu to the Raiders Stadium.
It was the adieu they deserved.
And then who did we see when we were leaving, Mary?
Who did we see?
We saw Justin Herbert.
We love you, Justin! We love you, Justin!
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna be okay, you guys.
Yeah. But on the real, we saw real Justin Herbert walking through the tunnel after the game, and he looked so sad.
Sad, and that made me feel even more sad.
So after we left the stadium, we made one of the best decisions we've probably ever made in our entire lives. And we definitely highly recommend this post-loss.
Get yourself a ride on one of them bike rickshaws.
Yeah. You can't be sad on a rickshaw. And then we requested that he play Thunderstruck. Wow, I took that experience to the next level.
Yeah! This is sick! Thunder! Thunder! I'm howling at the moon! Ow, ow, ow!
And then it was still 5 hours till our flight home.
They were holding our luggage at the hotel. So we went and picked that up and then went to the lobby bathroom with the intention of changing into normal clothes. But then we ended up just sitting on the floor and having something like a mental breakdown.
How do you feel?
I mean, I have mixed emotions. That rickshaw was so freaking fun. But I'm also very sad that we lost.
Okay,
if I make this, the Chargers win the Super Bowl.
It went behind. First try. It went behind? It looked like it went in.
It went behind.
We did it. We were gonna win.
We're squatting in this bathroom. Remember that day? Remember that day when we effing beat the effing Raiders? That was a great day. I'm so sad.
Sucks. Day games are kind of the worst. Then you have the whole night to feel sad.
It's only 7 o'clock.
Gosh, there's so many more hours to feel sad. We lost, so we're just processing the feelings.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I feel like this is important to share with you all because, you know, it's something we're all going through.
Right, guys? You're sad too, right?
Thank you for loving us. And I love you too.
We love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Just do it. You come on. Our next away game segment will be in Denver. We better beat those stinky Broncos.
Brisket!
Show of hands, how many of us can relate to the Brisket Broads? How many of us were crying in the bathroom?
Yeah, my own personal bathroom. Yeah, unfortunately. But that rickshaw looked awesome. Like, that's the thing. That's the key, though, is like having something just to really fully take your mind off.
Yeah.
Right. Something to put it in the other direction. Yes.
Yeah.
That made me smile. So thank you, Broads, for helping.
I think riding a bike might be a good reminder. Like, it's just football. You know,
it's just football.
It's just
a game.
football.
Yeah,
go ride a bike.
And victory is in the eye of the beholder. I've said this for years
not
now.
Real.
I stand by it.
It's just not a real statement.
I loved when she was holding her arms out to get a hug. From
yeah, that was awesome.
Next, please.
We're giving out hugs.
Yeah, hey, we're giving them out.
And Chris Avery's the man. Like, I love that guy. He's so good.
Loved Chris Avery. Loved that Bash noticed him and gave him a smile.
Yeah.
Like,
and the ninja, he was fast. If you saw it, the Telesco ninja was very quick.
1 second he was there, the next
gone.
he wasn't.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah. God, I being with the Brisket Broads, I think would be the best way to experience a loss.
Yeah.
Is being with them.
Yeah.
And so this was a little insight into being with them, and
I need to be alone.
Do you?
I really do, yeah.
This is my own
I really
thoughts.
don't like being around other people when we lose.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, to each his own.
We lost to the Chiefs on that Sunday night game,
Right,
and I
yeah.
immediately said bye to Kev and our friend Randy.
Bailed.
And I had 3 hours in the car by myself, and I needed every second of it. Just that's what I need. No bike rides.
There you go.
Or people to cheer.
It's worth
Don't
the
try
try.
to cheer me
Looks
up.
fun.
Just give me some time alone, and then we'll bounce back. And
There you go.
then we'll talk. We'll get on a podcast and talk about how crappy it was, and
and then we'll bounce back.
we'll bounce back. It's all right. Okay,
We will
all
bounce
right.
back.
I had to talk myself through that a little bit. Here we
That's
go.
okay.
I hate the Raiders so much.
Hate them so much, ladies. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Briskets.
enduring
guys were
the stadium and the baby poop food, and
At least the food was good. Hey, you got something.
and the non-alcoholic ice cream.
That
Thank you
makes sense,
for
right?
doing that.
That just makes sense to label that.
All right. Well, it's time to go on to the next segment. It is fan focus. And do we want to celebrate before or after, Kevin?
I think we should say it before. This was our 100th fan focus.
Here we go.
Wow.
Here's our celebration. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've come a long way with fan focus. Yeah, keep going. Keep doing it. Yes.
It's all right, folks. Our 100th fan focus. Let's see who is lucky number 100.
One Hondo. All right, guys, we are back with another fan focus, and we are super lucky to have Jennie from San Diego. What is going on, Jennie?
Not a lot. Rough day after that loss yesterday, but still optimistic.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. We hopped on and talked a little bit beforehand. I was like, okay, her energy is making me feel better. I've been on this Raider bummed out day, but you know what? I'm feeling like it's turning. So let's kick this off the way we always do. Jennie, how did you become a Charger fan?
Well, we got to blame it on Grandma. When the Chargers moved from Los Angeles to San Diego, she said to my grandpa, I think this would be a fun thing for us to go do together. So my grandfather went down and bought season seats, and they got the rest of the family involved. Their section was the cool section. Sundays were family days at the queue, right? But we liked sitting in Grandpa and Grandma's extra seats because they got 2 extra seats, because that was the swearing section.
Nice.
Every time something bad would happen, this guy in the front row would stand up and he would go, "Aw, shit." And everyone would say it at the same time. And it was the only time we got to swear, right?
Oh my God.
So we were always fighting over sitting with them as opposed to sitting with our parents, because that was the better section.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Grandma would swear at home too, but we weren't allowed to swear in the living room.
There's nothing like a swearing grandma. You know what I mean? Just the ornery grandma that just lets it fly. I have so much respect for those ladies.
She was diehard too. Like she took the losses. You think you're taking the loss bad? When we would lose, she wouldn't get out of bed. She would have a migraine.
Oh no.
And her doctor would have to come to the house to give her a shot.
I love her. Yeah. What's her name? What's grandma's name?
Grandma's name was Dorothy.
Dorothy is my spirit animal. I love Dorothy. That's amazing to have somebody so diehard be the matriarch of your family. And then how did that seep into your fandom?
So she passed it on to my mom. And one of our biggest memories growing up was in 1981 when we lost to the Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals, not the Bengals.
Yeah.
We had gone outside to play. And I just remember coming inside the living room was dark. And I came running in the house and there's like from the corner of the room, there's like and it was my mother sobbing. And I froze in the door because I thought someone had died. She was crying that hard. And I'm like, what happened? And she's like, we lost the game. It was so traumatic. That night, she bundled us all up and took us to the stadium when they came home. So they came off the buses and into a packed stadium with all of the fans. So as a little kid, I have like this great memory of that too. So then as I grew up and as my brother grew up, we both went off to college. I went to USC. He went to the Academy of Dramatic Arts. So we're in LA, but we're driving down every weekend.
Yeah.
We moved over by the Jumbotron. We had our own season seats. Those are some really rough seasons for a vet there.
I'm sure.
Brian Leaf era. Craig Wheelahan was our quarterback. Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, my God. So how many games would you say you've been to?
Well, I hadn't missed a game. I got my tonsils out when I was like 2.5, and I missed a game for that, or maybe 2 games. And then from then, I didn't miss a game until Norv Turner.
Oh my God.
And by the 3rd season of Norv Turner, I was furious. I was letting the front office have it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Those years were so bleak and I was so angry. But I wouldn't sell my tickets. That's something that I wouldn't do because I was too scared that they were going to go to opposing fans.
Yeah.
Because it sucked. That year we were 1-15, being in the stands and surrounded by opposing fans. Like there's nothing more demoralizing than that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Except for when Craig Wheelahan leads you back in the 4th quarter to beat the Chiefs. I will never forget that. Some amazing. Drunk guy 3 rows down, all the Charger fans are leaving, and this drunk guy is going, come on, where are you guys going? You're going to miss the greatest comeback of all time.
Oh, my God. And he was right.
Yeah, so he was totally right.
Can't count us out.
That was pretty amazing.
Wow, that's crazy. And I remember that Norv Turner era. Like I remember always like driving around with my dad, and it was always on sports talk radio. And I just remember everyone calling in and being so pissed off all the time. And I'm feeling a little bit of that now. And it's tough because you don't know where to stand. Like this doesn't feel, Coach Staley does not feel like a Norv Turner to me in the slightest. So what's your kind of take on, being upset with a coach or being upset with the coaching staff? Like where do you kind of stand on where we are right now as the Chargers?
Oh, it's so hard, man. I feel like I'm at that point. I'm like that Tyra Banks gif where I'm like, we were rooting for you. I was rooting for you.
Yeah.
We want to believe in you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You have so much talent. You're supposed to be the guy and you're just not figuring it out. But then you balance that with what does he have to work with right now? Offensively, like this is insane. I've never seen a season like this. We've had bad injuries before, but
yeah.
What do we have? One starting offensive lineman even left. And I know that offensive lineman going down is a hashtag Charger thing every season.
Every season, yeah.
This season is excessive.
Yeah.
So I'm more mad this season at Telesco because he knew that we had holes and he didn't plug them. But then, is that his fault or is that the Spanos is being cheap? Because they notoriously are.
Yeah.
There's a reason they don't have a good reputation among the owners in this league.
Sure.
So I balanced that with Joe Lombardi because wanted to be there, loved that play call that won us the game, the 2-point conversion. But this last week was bad.
Just that offensive line. When we were talking, Adam and I were sitting there, we're like, we're only going to be as good as this offensive line is going to allow us. And what they didn't feel like there was much scheming to get opportunities, knowing that our there was no pocket. It was collapsing. So this was the first week where in that second half, like I was just looking at the play calls and I'm like, are we trying to get Justin hurt? Like, I'm not seeing what the thought process is here.
He deserves better.
Yeah.
But also how crazy, like that's the thing with this season. That's why I'm like, it's a miracle that we have 6 wins this season. That's what I try to focus on when I get frustrated because I was looking and I don't even think he has a top 25, top 30 receiver.
No. Everyone's been so hurt.
And he's 5th in the league in passing yardage.
Justin Herbert is going to be Justin Herbert. Like, that's just the way he is. We have him, and that's like the saving grace for what this season still could be if we get a few guys back. We have him. We just need to have people not get in the way of Justin Herbert. And that's what, it's just crazy. And I still think there's an injury thing because there's a few opportunities where he in the past gets the first down, dives. Now he's there's just a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I don't think we fully grasp on it. So I'm still, it's a frustration. Losing to the Raiders is like losing twice. It's like losing 2 games on the same day.
I was so mad when we got Marty Schottenheimer as a head coach because I remembered his days with the Chiefs and how dirty he could be. And there was one game where we watched him. For some reason, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't get play calls out. We couldn't at the queue. Couldn't get play calls out. And our headset went out. So to make it fair, the refs told them that they couldn't use theirs. He put one on Gunther Cunningham and hit him over in the corner.
I didn't know that.
I was so mad.
Marty Schottenheimer.
So that is the man. Yes, that is the man who came to coach us. And I was like, I will never accept him. I will never, ever love him as a coach. And then Raiders week came around and Donnie Edwards was being interviewed. And he's like, you don't understand. This is a whole different level. He hates other teams, but he does not hate anyone as much as he hates the Raiders. And then I started to come around and then we started to sweep
Close
them.
to
and
my
I'm
heart.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the kind of coaching I want. If we can only win 6 games a season, can 2 of them be against the Raiders, please?
Yeah, please.
I just hate them so much.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. And that was the game you want to win. So you go 7-5 and we'll see what happens. You just got to stay positive. We're prime time again. Hopefully we get some guys back on Sunday night. I'm still going to go in with the same excitement and love I have for this team that I always do. Maybe we'll win. We'll see what happens.
It does. Yeah, you never know. We could get one that we're thinking we're not going to win.
I'm going to be that drunk guy. Come on, guys. The greatest comeback this season's ever had. Come with us. That's going to be me the rest of the season.
Right.
So
and then when it happens, we'll be like, see, you knew.
See, I told you guys, right? So, so we'll see. It's exciting. We still got football left. And the worst feeling is when there's no football left. So we have football still. We still have some games left. There's still things that can be done. So we'll see what happens.
I got married on draft day.
Oh, you did? You got married on draft day.
Well, my wedding coordinator fucked up.
Okay.
I was supposed to get married the Sunday before or the Saturday before, and he totally miffed and didn't get me the date. So he's like, but it's okay because I booked you the next Saturday. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, that is draft day.
Yeah.
I can't get married on draft day.
Yeah.
So we had to like move stuff around so that I could get married on draft day. And it was funny because I remember getting ready in the hotel room and, they're doing my hair, my makeup, and I've got the draft on TV.
You're diehard.
And then as I come down the stairs after the wedding into the reception, the very first thing you see me do is look at my brothers and my cousins and go, who did we take?
Who did we take that year?
You know what? I don't even remember.
Okay. It was a big day. You had a lot going on.
I did.
Yeah.
All I remember is I didn't even get a piece of my own wedding cake.
Same. I didn't even get to taste mine either. Isn't that nuts?
My mom brought my husband some, though. Here, honey, here's a piece of cake. I'm like, where's my cake, Mom? She's like, go get your own.
Thanks, Mom.
Right.
That's crazy. Well, you're a diehard. That is clear as day. So being a diehard, what is your best Charger memory?
See, the best Charger memory, I would have to say. Well, the first best Charger memory was being there to greet the Chargers as they came home that night.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. When I was turning 8, I wrote Ed White, offensive lineman. Like, why was I focused on the offensive lineman? I wrote him a letter inviting him to my birthday party.
No way.
And he got it late and he felt bad. So he wrote me back. Yeah, it was very, very kind of him. So that's a big memory. But another big memory was everything in our life sort of revolved around Chargers and around seasons. So my grandmother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer after 1994, after our Super Bowl appearance. So the 95 season, she had her first chemo treatment the morning of our playoff game against the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, wow.
And she made my grandfather book it early enough that she could be at the stadium in her seat by kickoff.
After she had treatment.
After she had chemo, straight there so that she could be in her seat for kickoff.
Wow.
And I remember looking at her, and even though we were losing, she was cheering her heart out, and she was just so happy to be there.
Wow.
And that's who I learned from, and that's who I emulate.
We need more Dorothys. We need more of those in our fan base. It's essential. It's that kind of thing. It's like no matter what's going on, like the Chargers can bring hope, can bring happiness, can bring whatever. So that's just such a fantastic story. What a special lady.
She was amazing.
It's amazing. And it's been amazing talking with you, Jennie. I know we interacted on our Patreon, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you for that, but you're fantastic. And we need more diehards like you, Jennie, for sure.
Well, we really appreciate your podcast. Thanks for keeping us positive.
We're trying. We're going to go down on this positive ship. We're going to be sinking. We're going to go to the bottom of the ocean, but we will rise for another season. It will happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it may be another season with Staley people, so just prepare yourself.
Yeah, we'll be okay. We're going to be good. So, Jennie, You're fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. It was so awesome chatting with you and hearing all your amazing stories.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Jennie, for coming to sit down with Kevin, but huge shout out to Grandma Dorothy for basically setting the example of what a diehard fan does. Like planning chemo so that you can still go to a playoff game and no matter what, cheering your heart out until the very bitter end. And
when you have somebody like that in your family, it really becomes who you are as like a fan. Like you're setting the tone. You know, you're setting the tone of what your fandom should be, and then you have to match that energy. It's
leading by example. Yeah. And wow, just some awesome stories too. Like writing, was it Ed White for a birthday party?
Yeah,
Lineman?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the wedding with the her draft day wedding and just being upset about it. That's crazy.
Die hard, dude. That's die hard right there. Cool. I'd be pissed too if my wedding got scheduled.
I know you would be.
I'd be real pissed.
You'd be so upset. I'd be off to the side with a phone going like,
Best man, I need your help. Get on it.
You had to bring up best man, huh?
Sorry.
Should have tossed that out.
I didn't.
I did. I blew
know
it.
Kevin did.
Sorry, Kyle. You're a great man.
Jennie,
Just
thank
not
you
the
so
best.
much for coming on and chatting with Kevin. We thank you so much for doing that. And we
Yeah,
really
you're the
appreciate
best.
you being a Patreon supporter as well. That,
Absolutely.
again,
Yeah,
means the
thank
world
you,
to us.
Jennie.
One more time. Confetti. Thank you, Jennie. 100th. Jennie, thank you so much. All right, folks. Now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Ask Boltfam. Let's go.
Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement. Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude. Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam. And we started off with Big Daddy Ruiz, who asked the question.
Listen here, motherfuckers. If you still don't have a motherfucking account on Patreon and following these three motherfuckers because your broke asses can't afford $10 a month, well, they offer budget accounts, okay? I shit you not. It's worth every penny. They had me fucking dying when Wool Dog's parents were doing Stuart Little voice. I tell you, this shit is worth every penny. All right, motherfuckers, here's my question. Would you motherfuckers ever consider trying something like Truth or Dab with all the other fucking Charger podcasts? Also, I know I'm bringing back the past, but that's what my girlfriend calls me, the plunger, because I bring up old shit, okay? These motherfuckers trying to call Herbert a social media QB. It's not our fault. The fucking NFL keeps giving the Chargers a shitload of primetime games, and motherfucking Herbert makes God throws like that 4th and 12 to Keenan.
Thank you, Big Daddy Ruiz.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure it's certified fresh. I just did a little search in my handy spreadsheet,
Rolodex.
and I didn't see. So if I'm wrong, sorry, Big Daddy.
But yes. And thank you for the shout out. I'm sure my parents love hearing you bringing up the Stuart Little voice.
That's awesome.
All right. So would we do a Truth or Dab with other Chargers podcasts?
I think I'd try it. It'd be too funny. Like I know I would be hurting so bad. And there's comedy in that. There's comedy in pain.
There's comedy in pain. Yeah.
There's always comedy in pain.
And I'm here for the pain.
I would try it. I would have to research to make sure that like it wouldn't screw my throat up. Because this is a moneymaker, folks. So if I don't have any sick days lined up, so I would have to do that. So worst case scenario, I wouldn't mind hosting it.
Oh, you'd be that guy.
Come on, you gotta
I'd be happy to
dab
be
it.
that guy.
We'll just work our way up. We'll get you some like super hot wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll just slowly work our way up and see if there's any tickles. You know what I mean? Any tickles in the throat.
Yeah.
Let me do some research. let me read up on
Milk.
it. But
turn on some milk.
If it turned out that it wouldn't mess up my voice, as much as I would hate to do it, I would do it.
I'll do it for sure. I'm in. I don't do that shit. But
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I do not like spicy food, but I
At
think
all.
it'd be funny to watch.
It would be funny. It'd be good
painful.
content.
It'd be good.
That's what we are. We
Maybe
make
that's
good content.
maybe that'll be a Patreon thing. Us getting
I think
Maybe.
it should be.
that'd be fun.
Maybe. So Big Daddy Ruiz, thank you for asking the
thank
question.
you.
Let's move on now to House of Hain, who asked the question. So I think Staley needs to just be a head coach if his D is so complicated that no one can run it unless perfectly healthy. It needs to change. I also am amazed 10 couldn't do anything with one starter on the O-line. If 10 had the time Carr had, 10 would have had 600 yards and 10 touchdowns. We are not healthy. Can't win with 4-string O-line. 10 always gives us a chance, but it is what it is. My question, is the team not adding people to help because they are saving money to pay 10 that huge check, or letting him fail to pay him less? Spano sucks. Okay, love you, bye.
No
Sign
voice
off.
today. No voice request.
There's a couple people that said they didn't want a voice.
Don't make this
Don't make
funny.
this. Yeah, don't make this
Don't.
good.
We're not having a good time here. Damn it. Yeah, this is serious shit. Yeah, these are. I don't. Honestly, there's been a couple like players that you hear rumblings of like they're becoming available, and we may have taken shots at them. Maybe our waiver isn't as high as some of the teams they picked them up. I don't know, but it's kind of odd that we haven't really picked up anyone,
Yeah, I saw
especially
the
on the
Dolphins-
offensive line.
The Dolphins just went and picked up Eric Fisher, finally got signed as a free agent.
Wow.
He's been sitting out there for a whole year, and they lost one of their guys, their tackle they put on IR, so they swooped up Eric Fisher. And it's like, that guy's been sitting there a long time. Like, there's been guys out there. I don't know. I really don't know, because you can't be confident with Foster Sorrell and like the guy Will Clapp, the guys
Clapp's
that are
the
right now
problem for
playing
me.
for us. So it's like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think it's a matter of saving money. If there's somebody that much better, you gotta bring him in. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a poor or maybe good. I don't know. It's like you don't know what's gonna happen. If you were to go for some of these guys and bring them in, it's not a guarantee that they're gonna do any better. So it's for whatever reason our personnel department does not like anyone that's out there over what we have currently. I don't think it's a money thing.
Yeah. It's one of those grass is greener, but maybe there is some something to be said for that, because we're just not the offensive line.
What we got,
I haven't seen anything
working.
quite like that we saw on Sunday.
What we got isn't green.
No.
That grass is dead.
Dead grass.
So it's hard to say. I can't imagine that they're letting him fail to pay him less. That doesn't seem
That
like,
seems a little, yeah.
I doubt
Little
that's the case.
Tinfoil hat-y a little bit. But hopefully that's not the case.
But it's a good question. Why they're not adding personnel through the amount of injuries that we have sustained, I don't know. And it has to be just that whatever they think is out there can't be better than what we currently have, but what we currently have ain't it. So,
yeah.
House of Hain, thanks for asking the question. Let's move it on now to OM Run, who asked the question.
Is it asking too much to pressure Derek Carr once all game? That was unreal.
It was unreal.
We were blitzing too, and that offensive line just picked up everything we threw at them.
Yeah.
Everything. They weren't just like rushing forward, and that was what we were trying to do to get back to him. They were bringing it all, and the fact that we still didn't get to him at all and got a pick six, and he still was Derek Carr. You know what I mean? He had a couple good plays there at the end to lock it up, but I don't know. That was really frustrating. Like the almost, because he's not a scrambling quarterback. He doesn't move very fast. You just need to get to him, and Rumpf isn't able to do much right now. I don't know what's going on, if he's still hurt or what. But and then they put all the attention on Khalil, so it was very frustrating to watch.
It was, yeah. All right, well there you go. OM Run, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Zachary Shelton, who asked the question.
Is this team wasting the talent of Herbert?
I don't know, dude. This is hard because this is such, and everyone's like, that's an excuse, but this is such an injury-riddled season. Like, yeah, I guess you could say that they are, but they're not doing it intentionally. They don't want any of these guys to go down and get hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't see that there is something to be said for him, being Justin Herbert, still being able to do what he does without the supporting pieces. But I don't know the correct answer to that.
I think you are wasting his talent, but I don't think it's intentional. It's not like, I don't know. I obviously you want to say that the coach not good enough, and that's why it's wasting Joe Lombardi. I think Joe Lombardi can be an effective coordinator with the Jimmy Garoppolos and the Andy Daltons. You don't need a superstar quarterback to accomplish his offense. So I think to some extent, maybe you're not taking advantage enough of his ridiculous ability. Yeah. It's like you don't see him run the ball. Like you said, Kev, you don't see him rolling out of the pocket pretty much at all. And I know a lot of that was due to the injury, but like it's time now to start. How many first downs has he picked up with his feet this year? Like, it feels like so few.
He's sliding first thing. Like they have really talked to him about that. It sounds like
it's just, it feels a little bit like we're not getting the most out of him. And it's not all in the coaching. A lot of it has to do with injuries, but it is being wasted for sure. Like his rookie contract is currently being wasted right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Zachary Shelton. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Carl Bollingtoft, who asked the question.
Oh, man, I saw someone say Phillip Rivers has more protection in the bedroom than Herbert had in the pocket last night. It's hard to stay shamelessly positive in these trying times, but I'll have you try. Make my day. Give me 3 good reasons that this Chargers team will make the playoffs.
All right,
Justin
reason
Herbert.
apiece.
Justin, that's number one across the board. I believe we can all agree on that.
Absolutely. Number one.
The
Number
last
2.
4 games of our schedule are soft. So if we can win 1 out of these last 2, we might be able to squeak in with 10 wins.
Okay. Yeah, that's 2. I like that. That's positive.
Mm-hmm.
Good
We're going to
energy.
get healthy here at the end of the season.
Joey
Bosa
Bosa's
will be
coming back.
Mike Williams will be back.
Yeah.
We got to get healthy and see if we can make a little
And
run.
Donald Parham, don't leave out the 6'9". He's coming in hot.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
Feels good, actually.
That's good. You know,
Feels
Justin
good, actually.
Herbert. Justin Herbert.
I said it with a very monotone voice, but those are the 3 points.
Possible schedule.
Yeah.
And guys coming back. That will save the day. So
Charge.
There you go, Carl. 3 good reasons.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Carl.
asking the question. Let's move it on now to Mark Busnelli Jr., who asked the question. Seems like every motherfucking time we lose a motherfucking game, we get all these knock-knee motherfuckers bitching about the ownership. Dean motherfucking Spanos. I don't understand this horse shit. Why in the actual does the ownership have to do with the motherfucking football game? Some people blasting ownership either have their heads so far up each other's asses and are a bit inebriated from inhaling all of that shit gas, or simply cannot use their brains appropriately. Those are some bungholes that didn't absolutely motherfucking love my greatest theatrical achievement in 2006, Snakes on a Plane. Some motherfuckers be stepping and not stepping correct, mind you. The Raiders. Please enlighten us motherfuckers that can't comprehend why the owner is the motherfucking issue. Everyone with any sense of reality knows the issue is without depth. The only thing I can see is these dingleberry sons of bitches blame Dean Dip and his bag of chips squad for waiting too motherflubbing long on cutting the cord with Tommy T. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. What says you? Is it time to cut that chode loose? What do you make of all these phallic pricks blaming Spanos for this horse shit of a season? Can't love you bye, motherfuckers, and thanks for helping get through this shit-stained season. Hashtag bolt the up.
Dean Spanos. Hey, we got some
here.
Dean Spanos support here. A little
Wow.
bit.
In a roundabout way, maybe. I don't know if it's directly
It's like,
supporting.
what is that? Like all shit rolls uphill. It's like that saying, like, like everything that's going on underneath it is essentially you can look at the top and be like,
the buck
okay,
stops somewhere.
So
And typically it's at the top. Yeah.
and the Span Eye has done a lot of very
They're an
cheap
easy
and
target.
easy.
Yeah, they're an
easy
easy
target.
target to go after. I mean, you look at the Chargers as an organization, they've been the owners for a long time. And in that time, we've not historically been a dominant football team. So it's easy to go, look, I get it. Coaches come and go, players come and go, GMs come and go. You've been pretty consistent in us not winning Super Bowls. So it's easy to go after them. And a lot of those people that are hating on them are probably San Diego Charger fans that aren't happy that they're in LA. So everyone's going to lash out at something. You don't know, like you're going to make up some reason why you hate the strength and conditioning coach because you think he's in charge of all the injuries, or you're going to hate the fact that we don't have grass fields, or there's something that you're going to find a way to blame, and that's totally fine. Blame whoever the hell you want.
Right.
It's just the way of coping with us not performing to what the expectations were.
Right.
Yeah.
What we all expect them to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting more and more frustrating each week. It really is.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just want to put together some wins. Like I can't 4 weeks and we're 1-3 in 4 weeks.
Honestly,
it's just
don't
too
even
much.
right now. I'm like, I just want to see good football. I'm not like win, lose, or draw. I think that we will win consistently if we can just play good football, because we're just not seeing 3 phases of the game play well every week. It's just there's always one phase that sucks. It feels like every week, and it's just that's really frustrating. It's like I don't care if we win. I want to watch Charger football because I love the Chargers. I just want to see them play well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Mark Busnelli Jr.,
Don't know
thank
if
you.
that helped you. Yeah.
I don't know if that really helped, but I mean, it's there's a lot of people I think that can look at this and go like, okay, well, this is our issue. So why is this the issue? Well, this guy hired him. So, I mean, it's his fault. Well, who hired this guy? Well, this guy hired him. Well, who hired this guy? Well, it all goes to Dean Spanos.
It's like, it's how you blame the coaches for the players not playing well. It's like Asante Samuel missed that deflection, that pass breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So is that his DB's coach's fault for a technique that he didn't teach him correctly, or is that just Asante not making the play?
Right.
Yeah.
Or is it the GM's fault for drafting Asante because he should have known that he would make that play against Devontae Adams against the Raiders in week 12? You know, it's like you could keep it going as long as you want. You're going to blame somebody.
Yeah.
Right. But there you go. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bruce Wayne.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question.
I have a question. What is this pain I feel in my chest every time I watch this second half of a Chargers game?
Longing for consistent football. And that generally leads to heart attacks. So somewhere it just kind of depends on where you are on the range of longing. Longing turns into high blood pressure.
Yeah. If it's happening every time, you might want to see a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm sure that this is just in jest, but at the same time, if it's happening every game, I'm worried for you. I want you to
take a
couple
couple Advil.
Okay. Yeah, take some Advil.
Come on, Bruce. We need you.
Yeah, just see a doctor if that's the case. But
because it's not changing. This is pretty much the way it is. So
yeah, it's not gonna get really any different.
Maybe a couple ibuprofen before the halftime. Just to kind of because I heard that preemptive helps with heart attacks. So that could be the move.
Hydrate,
some baby
make sure you're
aspirin,
hydrated.
Yeah, get some Pedialyte and some ibuprofen.
There you go.
Yeah,
solid advice.
It's still gonna hurt though.
It's still gonna suck.
It'll lessen the pain. It'll lessen it just a bit.
Yeah.
To Bruce Wayne, we are not doctors, but thank you for asking the question.
That is not proper advice. Do not listen to us at all.
Yeah.
Let's move it on now to Boltville 714.
All right.
Who asked the question?
Do you know what, man? The Raiders. Those fucking cockroaches can kiss my ass. F*** 'em. And you know what else? All the haters too. They want to bitch about the loss. Motherfuckers, did you not all see our offensive line go to shit? The ribs. This motherfucker was out here running for his life. Those cocksuckers got lucky we didn't have our O-line. I promise you, all I have in this world is my word and my balls, and I break them for no one. Every dog has his day. And it's all, and to all our fan base, some of you don't have the guts to be a diehard Charger fan. And you need people like Tommy T and Staley to point the fingers and say, those are the bad guys. And I always tell the truth, even when I'm lying. So, you guys that are blaming Herbert for this loss, try sticking your head up your ass. See if it fits. Anyways, my question. Either you're with us or against us. Both gang or do not bang. See you cockroaches in Thunder Alley and tell that motherfucker of a cockroach at you to pull up. I got a friend who would like to say hello to his bitch ass. He's a real dog. Shout out to Chico Eric, a.k.a. Perro. Que love your pie.
My question.
Anyways.
Yeah, people.
That was awesome.
People are finding the most bizarre things to blame right now. Like it is full panic mode in the Charger fandom. I saw someone saying we need new running backs. Eckler fumbled once, and so he sucks now, and we need to
get him out.
He's a cockroach. Yeah. We need to start over everything. It's like, guys, I'm frustrated with you, but I promise you, Herbert and Austin Eckler are not the problem.
No,
that is not the
far
issue.
From it.
No, he fumbled. That sucked, but that's not.
Yeah,
the
Josh
ultimate.
Jacobs too. Then is garbage and needs to be cut. Like they all fumble. It
happens. It's yeah.
pretty. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just not sure about the people blaming Herbert for the loss. Like if somebody were to blame
That's
Herbert
insanity.
for that, you need to maybe don't follow them, or
just
if you don't interact.
Just
with
don't
them,
make your football opinions known anymore because you don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I'm sorry. Like if you're blaming Justin Herbert for that loss, you turn us off, shut us down. We're not the podcast for you because we are Herbert truthers, and that guy laid everything out there on Sunday, and I don't blame him 1 ounce for that loss.
No.
Yeah, see, we wear t-shirts.
He's dancing.
We wear t-shirts with this stuffed animal on them. For God's sake. Tequila.
All right. Boltville 714.
Yeah, and Acho. This is the stakes are so high because I want Acho to go down so hard.
And to be specific, Emmanuel Acho.
Emmanuel.
Not Sam. I think we had a couple people that might have said Sam in previous questions, and we want to make sure that that's clear. It's not
there
Sam.
are multiple Achos.
There are multiple Achos out there.
Are they family members?
But has Sam come out and said his brother is a psychopath, or is he standing behind him?
He might just be quietly like...
Then he's guilty by association.
He's guilty. Yeah, you got to come out. If my brother said some crazy crap, I would immediately
Kyle would
make a statement.
immediately disown me and send me to the wolves.
I don't agree with him. Don't let me in with this idiot. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
All right. Bolt Bill 714. Thank you for the lack of question.
Family's in the eye of the beholder. Am I right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's move it on now to Dan Carter, who asked the question. A likelihood Staley keeps his job.
I think this is certified fresh. Feeling pretty good about it.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think what he's done, the defense isn't great. The only thing people are really pissed off about is the run defense, which I totally understand. But we're still, he's keeping us in these games. And with how bad this roster's gone with injuries, we're still competing. So coordinators, sure. I think that's open season at this point. I think that's become a conversation you need to have. I don't think Staley's going anywhere.
I think every coach in the history of the Chargers except one has lasted 3 seasons. I think I saw that stat thrown out there recently. Maybe a Twitter stat, but I think it's real. It's
real.
I don't know. I think it's having football is about winning. Like you have to win.
Of course.
It's not
at the end of the day.
It's nothing else. At the end of the day, you have to win. And he has had a lot of talent 2 years in a row and hasn't. If we don't make a playoff appearance, I think he's on the hot seat. I think if he got fired, I wouldn't be shocked.
I was going to say the same thing. Like if I saw a headline that said that he wasn't with the Chargers, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not rooting for it. I'm not hoping for it, because I think one of the things that Staley has done for this team, I know at the end of the day it's wins, but one of the things that we as fans have seen and have been chanting for is a change in the culture. And if Staley has brought anything to this team, he has brought a change in the culture that is on the positive side of things. Now, obviously, if that doesn't get you wins, then what good is it? But it's not, he hasn't had a losing season yet. I think if this ends up being a losing season, then potentially. But if we make a playoffs and we even just by the skin of our teeth, then I think he absolutely keeps his job.
I think in terms of like when you're, the owners and Tom Telesco, when they look at this and you look at what he's gone through this year in terms of personnel and all that stuff, that's an easy, like, all right, we got to give him one more go. And hopefully we can stay healthy and see what he can really do. Because this is the first year where he actually had the guys that he wanted, and none of them have stayed healthy. Last year, he was dealing with the previous roster, and a lot of those guys are completely gone.
Right.
So I think you need to give him at least 2 years with the roster he's trying to build and not rip cord and try and get out of it. Offensive coordinator, that's the one I think you talk about. And people are talking about having Vic Fangio come in as D coordinator. That would be interesting. What that means for, Staley, because he is a strong defensive coach. Our defense doesn't speak to that, but he has had strong defenses in the past. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I feel pretty confident about it.
Yeah, I would say the likelihood is low, but not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah. It was like the 2 years ago when Lynn was about to go, like that felt like it was time to go. Yeah. This doesn't feel like that at all. I'm not feeling at that level that I was feeling with Lynn and the mistakes and how poorly he coached. Like,
do you think there's potential for Tom Telesco to be let go?
That's a good question. I don't think you let both of them go.
It's tough.
That's
man.
for sure.
I think that if you bring in a new GM, a GM is going to want to have a say in who the head coach is.
That's an interesting point.
That's where if you don't make the playoffs, Tommy T is gone, a new GM comes and has a guy that he loves that's out there available, I think that's when it could it could happen. I don't think it's beyond the realm. Now, I think that another year consistency at the head guy is okay. But I think if we don't make the playoffs, there'll be turnover on the coaching staff.
Yeah, there will be.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Dan. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Leo, who asked the question. Sorry, guys, no voice today, but the fact of the matter is that the Chargers are in a precarious position, lose no more than one more game and win out. That's the situation, and the remaining schedule is winnable, but the next 2 games will be tough. But the Bolts can still win them if we pull out all the stops, even with injuries. Creativity with play calling will be the key down the stretch. I'm optimistic that the boys can pull it off. That said, my question are whether there is a chance we move off Lombardi at the end of the season despite our record. And since the Bolts are so racked with injuries, if you could sign any Charger great to replace an injured player, who would it be? Personally, I'd sign prime Antonio Cromartie to replace JC or Jamal Williams for Austin Johnson. As always, guys, bolt all the way the up and keep the faith. K-love you, bye.
Your normal speaking voice makes it sound like so sad in this context.
If they don't want a voice, I'm not gonna force
when they
one
say
on
no
them.
voice,
Yeah,
it means no
means
voice.
Yeah.
No means no. We
I
all know
listen.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question, does Lombardi keep his job at the end of the season despite the record?
I think we talked about it, and I don't think that he does.
If the Chargers win out, do you think he keeps his job?
Yeah. I think if we win out, we win 5 in a row to finish the season, and we're 11 wins heading into the playoffs.
Right.
I think so.
I'm not saying that's likely. I'm just saying if that was the opportunity.
It just feels like we have no identity in our offense, and that's hard as an offensive coordinator. You're responsible for setting the tone for what you're at, regardless of injuries. Your backups, your starters, everything should be built around the identity of your team, and it just doesn't feel like we've had an identity for 2 years as far as what our offense is.
Do you think if we had everybody healthy that we would have an identity?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. And 100%, but it's just nobody stays healthy.
Right.
It's like we're severely banged up, but nope. The Chiefs were banged up when they came in and beat us on Sunday night, and you didn't see them drop at all. You didn't see a drop off in production from Mahomes.
Right.
They all stepped up, all different. They were able to scheme it so that Travis Kelce had 4,000 yards and 15 touchdowns in one game is what it felt like.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like they found a way to scheme open their best players. And yeah, I feel like there's just something missing in what our game plan is every week.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then if you were to sign any Charger great to replace an injured player, who would it be?
Give me Nick Hardwick. Give me a center. I just feel like no center is just so devastating for our offense.
Yeah.
You have to have that quarterback of the offensive line. With all the young guys that are up there, we have to have it.
Yeah.
I think he said it for me. Mine would be Jamal Williams for Austin Johnson. Jamal Williams was such a freaking beast. That would make it such an immediate impact on what this defense should be.
Mm-hmm. I know he's coming back, but I'll say Antonio Gates for Donald Parham.
Oh, good call too, man.
Good choice.
Gatesy,
if Gatesy was out there,
end would be such a difference.
Can you imagine Gates catching a touchdown from Justin Herbert?
No.
That'd be pretty dope.
That would be insane. Even if it's in the off season and they're just kind of playing around, seeing Justin Herbert throw Antonio Gates a tutty,
it'd make my heart happy.
It would make my heart happy too. Just picturing it makes my heart happy. Leo, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Squishy Muffins.
Certified fresh?
Who asked the question?
New question asking purser here. Love the show, guys. Let me drop my opinion below, and I promise you I'll have a question lined up. Injuries are a contributing factor to this mess of a season, 100%. But to say we've lost all 6 games because of them is a lie. That Raiders game was a clear sign of why this staff needs to be wiped off the board. Asking your backup O-line to do exactly what the starters do is complete insanity. I saw no changes in the scheme or the game plan that catered to the backup's strength.
Look, injuries happen, so you need to have a clear plan for your backups when they inevitably will have to start. This staff has failed to put these players in positions to succeed at some level and help contribute to the team's success. They have failed. I mean, Staley saying at half that we need to run the ball more and continuing not to speaks volumes to the miscommunication within the coaches. Eckler and Kelly were having their way. Even with how bad our O-line was, they were turned away from it. Not double covering Devontae, a.k.a. their only receiving threat, is beyond foolish. Staley should have double covered him and forced Las Vegas to beat us with Jacobs and the amazing Mac Hollins. The issue with this team is beyond injuries. And Telesco, I know he's made aggressive signings, but players get hurt, therefore you need depth. Foster Sorrell, this random edge rusher named Tauska, he's had more failed draft picks than good signings, and the record with him as GM speaks for itself. 72-85 with 2 playoff appearances in 10 years and 3 different head coaches. Guys, we have been outscored 9-49 after the half the last 7 games and have failed to score a third quarter touchdown in 5 of those. If Herbert isn't perfect and playing heroics, this offense does not thrive. It does not look good. My question goes as follows. What have you guys seen that tells us this team should not consider the possibility of firing everyone from Telesco to Ronaldo Hill? I'd like to hear your guys' answers and try not to use injuries as an excuse, as it happens to every team, specifically to us every season, the past decade, it seems. Good coaches know how to win in spite of them. Bad coaches don't. Thank you, Bolt fam, and again, love your show.
Squishy Muffins coming in with a banger.
Wow. Squishy did their homework.
They did.
And make some good points.
Yeah.
I feel like this question is where I'm sitting right now. This purgatory of like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like we should, even with backups, we should still be just playing better. And like I said, with our offense, there just feels like there's no identity and a little bit of a guessing game. And the other team is consistently outsmarting us in how they're going to show up and play. Defensively, I feel like it's not awful. I feel like there is game plan. We're allowing, like coaches come out and said, we're putting all these resources towards stopping the pass. That's what allowing the run. We haven't allowed 30 points in a game. From what I can remember in a long time, I'm not looking at the scores right now, but it feels like we're keeping teams in the 20s. Like scores are down. I know they're rushing for a lot of yards, but at least we have an identity. We have a game plan going into these games. We had a pick 6 on Sunday. Like defense is still playing with a lot of injuries, a lot of people missing, no pass rush without Bosa. And I know I'm not supposed to talk injuries, but I'm saying it feels like they've made some adjustments and tried to cover up with some of those flaws. Offensively, yeah, it has to be better. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like anything has shifted or adjusted or changed. It's throwing fade routes to DC on fourth and the game. It's I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's just like so much of the game. I'm like, what? Why did we do that? What? And I don't know football as well as Lombardi. I hope. I don't think so. And but it's starting to feel like maybe I do, which is not good.
I think a lot of people are feeling that right now.
Yeah, it's the offense is the troubling one, and the offense is what has brought a lot of new fans to the Chargers.
Good
the
point.
excitement that they were the last couple of years and what they were able to do. So the fact that we've been playing like this is just so frustrating. I used to be incredibly excited every time the offense was on the field.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling that anymore.
Right.
Because I don't feel super confident in what's going to happen.
Even week one, I remember you talking about that.
It just felt different, and we still had all of our guys then. So I think it's just kind of slowly revealing itself that, and even I was watching that game and I was like, why are we trying to maintain Justin in the pocket? Like, why are we not trying to do other stuff and get him moving, get him out of harm's way and let him scramble and get things done? It just wasn't happening. And I could see that Will Clapp was getting, and the guards were just getting demolished, and the push they were getting up the middle was insane. Like I can see that. How am I seeing that? You're not. I don't
think it's that they're not seeing that. They're definitely seeing it.
Why
it's
aren't
just
they
kind
adjusting?
of throw your hands up with what the hell do I at the end of the day, football is about blocking and tackling, and we're not doing a good job of that. So you can blame that on coaches for not preparing them or coaching them up well enough. It's just if you can't block, call whatever the hell you want. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
If you can't block the guy across from you, you can call whatever you want. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as a reason to not consider the possibility of firing everyone from Telesco to Ronaldo Hill, I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, you mentioned, to not bring up injuries, and I get it. Yeah, you should be able to coach up anybody. But that's the thing is like, we have so many. It's not just a few playmakers. This isn't just we lost Rashawn Slater and Joey Bosa and we've got to adjust accordingly. We have lost over 10 people, I'm sure. Like I haven't looked at the list.
An entire offensive line, pretty much.
An entire offensive line was basically gone this last game, short of Matt Filer.
But the point is you should be able to adjust and like have a plan of attack and still win football games.
Right. And I get that, but I don't know. I think there's something has to be said for how many injuries. I mean, if you took all of the players away and put different players out there on the field, would you expect the coaches to be able to win a game with a completely different set of guys? Like I understand like it's not quite to that extent.
Let
but
me
at what
pose
point
it this way.
you yeah.
Do you think our same players, the same injuries, do you think with Bill Belichick as the head coach, we would be doing a better job or no?
Given the experience?
Everything exactly the same. You have the same injuries, the same players playing. Bill Belichick is now your head coach. Have we won more games? I think that answers your question if you think it's the coaching or if it's just strictly injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Or Andy Reid. You bring Andy Reid and his offensive scheming. Have we played better? Would we have played better? Because then it's coaching. Like but like obviously injuries suck. That's inevitable. That happened. But are our coaches doing a good enough job of adjusting and making changes so we can still win games?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
hard
point.
to answer. It's a tough pill to swallow.
It is. And I think the reason why it's such
and
a
I don't
tough...
want to swallow it.
No, and I don't either. Yeah, no. I don't want to swallow it either. I think that's why that's my issue with people wanting to say that it's the coaching, because it's like, I don't know. I feel like if we were at a job and we knew somebody wasn't doing well at a job, we would fire that person or reprimand them or do something about it. But as a fan, if we see a coach that isn't doing well, or even a player that isn't doing well, it's like, to what end are we going to do anything about it? Like, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to boycott the team. I'm not going to stop watching them. I'm not going to stop being a fan.
Right.
So it doesn't feel good to put a blame on a player or a coach or even a GM. Like, I get it. Like, yes, we're all doing the math and we're all finding the facts and we're like, okay, well, these are the stats and these are the reasons. So it's like, what do you want me to do? I can't do anything. Like, I'm a guy in Missouri, like just doing a stupid podcast with my two guys. Like, I can't do anything about it. Like, I think that's why it's so frustrating to have these kind of conversations, because we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. It's all opinions.
It's all opinions, and it's all basically hearsay.
It's just helping people. We're watching. It's just funny sometimes just to sit back and like think about the idea that we're watching football like a sport,
right?
And we get so fired up about it, and we get
invested.
Like, what I'm trying to say in rebuttal to you is that it helps us to be able to process and digest what we're watching, right? Like, if I can pinpoint the issue, I can feel better about why we're losing. But at the end of the day, we're just grown men watching a sport on TV.
Right.
And I shouldn't need like a reason to help me digest the fact that we lost. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that's what it is.
We're committed to it. But
it's like you're so invested. You're like, I need a reason. I need someone to blame, or else I'm gonna die. Like the world's gonna end, and I'm not gonna be able to process this. I can't go to work. I need to blame someone. So just let me blame them. Which is okay. I get
it's
it.
Fine.
I felt that for the last 24 hours.
Right. I can't do it because like I said, I don't have any control over it. So I don't feel that doesn't help me. If it helps you,
it's like
then do it, please. Like if I want you to feel help.
But it's not going to change me turning the game on Sunday night and rooting for the Chargers.
No.
It's not going to adjust any of those things. So like, yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. I just think that's why people I need to blame someone so that I can go on with my life.
Yeah.
So my life can continue, and I don't.
There needs to be a reason why I'm
here
spending so much of my time loving this team. I need a reason why this isn't working.
Who did this to me?
Exactly.
Tom.
Damn you,
it's your
Tom.
Fault. All right. So squishy muffins. I don't know that we could come up with a reason. So
maybe that answers your question.
Maybe that answers your question.
That's where we're all at right now.
So thank you for asking it.
But we're shamelessly positive.
We are.
Oh, so shamelessly positive.
And don't be a stranger. That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was
a debut.
It was came in strong. Let's move it on.
Cannonball into the Ask Boltfam.
Cannonball.
It really was. Big splash. Let's move it on now to Senora Snappy, who asked the question. Hi guys. I tested Huggins' outfit changing theory. He might be onto something. I swapped out shirts, pants, beanie position, and hairstyles. Maybe I should have changed outfits 10 times to match the pace of the game. Tough loss. Hope your hearts are okay. Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh, thanks, Senora.
Yeah, you just didn't get the perfect alignment. You got to keep switching it up.
Got to keep it up. And I will say, miss it. Worked again. It worked again. And people like on the first one, we had people tweeting at us like, sorry, I forgot to do it. I'm like, all right, we'll do it next time. Go watch what happens.
Right.
And it totally worked.
It
was fantastic. So superstitions, there's something to them.
It happens. It works from time to time.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
That's right.
Love me a broken clock.
Blind squirrel finds a nut, right?
Yep.
Amen.
Senior Snappy, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Neiman2419.
Or the squirrel dies.
Who asked the question? Hey guys, thanks for being always positive. My question is, how would you feel if the Chargers went back to the run, pass style of offense? Do you like having Herbert throw for over 45 times a game? I honestly feel like we need more balance and we give up on running the ball way too early.
That's the recipe for winning a good offense, is to be balanced, but we just haven't shown the ability to do that. Haven't shown the ability to run the ball much. Honestly, it's crazy. Coach, you were saying like, let's just throw every play. Let's see what happens.
The reason the pass looked open is because we're throwing the ball so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the reason the run looked open is because we're throwing it. It's like I don't know. We can't have balance right now. We're not a good enough football team, like just to go in there and say, this is what we're doing, deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's we got to roll with the punches and adjust and make changes on the fly. And you got to put the ball in Justin's hands.
He's the best player.
You're going to run the ball a little bit here and there to try to slow down that pass rush. But right now that's what it is. And give up on the play action. Like we tried play action. Chandler Jones almost got to his 5-step drop before Justin did.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
like there's no reason under center play action should ever be in the playbook right now until Corey Linsley and Pipkins are back. Like just getting that. If you're gonna throw, make it obvious. Get in the shotgun.
Go back to Oregon.
Play action.
Just clap. Go. Just go back to the roof.
Just line up there and see how it goes.
Yeah,
there you go.
Just try something.
Just try something different.
Just try it. What do you have to lose at this point? Neiman2419, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Lexi M, who asked the question. Okay, Boltfam, don't listen to the crazy people saying Herbert won't stay and we need Peyton as our head coach. Staley has done so much for this team. We need Lombardi and something no one talks about. Our strength and conditioning team needs to go. We are getting too many injuries and I don't know why. However, on a shamelessly positive note, Justin is definitely back to 100%. Everett and Palmer had a really good game. I'm excited to see Allen and Williams get back to themselves, as we saw a hit of Allen already. Now, question time. What one adjustment you would make to improve to finish out the season strong? FTR, K, love you, bye.
Love your positivity, Lexi. This is nice. I love this. One adjustment.
one little adjustment.
Just Corey Lindsley stays healthy the rest of the rest of the time.
Is that really an adjustment?
That's the adjustment I would
anymore.
make. I don't think how important that man is to this team and how well this offense moves.
Yeah.
Corey Lindsley is essential. We saw, I think if Corey Lindsley was in that game, whatever was surrounding him, that is a completely different game. We win that game with Corey Lindsley. I feel that strongly about it.
Yeah.
I really do. So that's the adjustment I would make. A helmet or something for him. Better helmet. A better helmet, and one of those neck things that pushes the blood. Those weird.
The thing that Drew
Drew
Tranquil wears.
That's the adjustment I would make. Yeah, Lindsley's neck.
Do you think it's possible for a player to go out there with that extra padded helmet that they wear in practice? Or would that just be too goofy during
they're
a
not
game?
allowed to, but it'd be sick. We should do that for sure.
Serious.
We should just show up like the kid in Little Giants with the bubble wrap.
Every player's bubble wrap.
Yeah. Can you think of any other adjustments there,
nothing.
Kyle?
I don't know. I don't know what the one adjustment is. I really don't.
I mean, as a guy who's never played football or knows how to analyze it properly without the help of Kyle the Coach Duggan, I would say have a tight end just chip block on every freaking play. Just as much help as that O-line can get.
That's the thing, though.
Did we?
Max Crosby did not have a pressure in the game. He didn't have a sack.
Right.
We were chipping the hell out of Max Crosby, but you can't do it to both sides or you got no one in the route. So that's why Chandler Jones were like, well, good luck. And he did
had
good.
luck. Yeah.
Good game.
I don't know what the one change is, except for you have to play insanely clean football. We have such a small margin for error right now with the way that we're playing. We have to play clean. There's no turnovers. You cannot turn the ball over. That's really what killed the momentum of our game against the Raiders. That Eckler fumble.
Yeah.
It just, the very next play, threw the ball deep because they had momentum and Devontae scored and we never saw the lead again. So we just have such a small margin for error. We cannot turn the ball over.
Yeah.
It's not really an adjustment. Again, I don't know if that counts as an adjustment, but
I'll take it. If Kevin can say Corey Lindsley is an adjustment, I think we can take ball control as an adjustment.
We're pulling it out on this episode, guys.
Lexi, thank you for asking the
Thanks,
question.
Lexi. Stay positive too. Keep that up.
Absolutely. Let's move on now to Arnie Gordon, who asked the question.
Instead of firing the Chargers staff, can we turn that effort towards fans?
Fire fans. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us want to take a stance on this. No, we're not going to fire. We don't fire.
We've been talking about wanting fans for so long. We can't just go start firing them now.
Yeah, we just got to teach them the ways of the Jedi, the ways of the Charger fans,
the ways of Grandma Dorothy.
Yeah,
Dorothy.
That's what they need. Yes.
Yeah, and
there's no place like home.
It's a battle, and it's hard, and you just got to stick it out. And it is what it is. And doesn't matter, dude. Every fan base is calling for their coach's head. If you're not in the playoffs, leading a division,
yes,
you're calling for their head. It's not unique to the Chargers fan base.
Yeah,
it's everyone. So we want all the fans we can get, and let's just be a big happy family.
Yeah,
and just try to support the Chargers, and when they're not playing well, you can be honest with your opinions and feelings, and
absolutely
not be happy about it. And we'll keep. And guess what? Every Sunday.
Turn it on, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Start it over.
We just turn on that fan and we go support the team.
There you go.
I love it.
Love it. Arnie, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now.
The fans.
Let's move it on now to my Bolts Burner, who asked the question.
At this point, should we still be cheering for playoffs, even if it is a West Coast exit for player experience? Or should we want a top 10 pick in the draft? Man, is this depressing, LOL.
I want to win football games. I don't give a shit about the picks, dude. We're not great at making them. So I would rather get something. I'd rather have wins. Yeah, it is depressing.
I want to make the playoffs every year. I don't care if it costs us draft picks.
Yeah.
I want to squeak into the playoffs if that's what it takes.
All right.
The more times we're there, the more comfortable we're there, the more it just like has a way of multiplying and getting better every year. So I want to be in the playoffs every single year. I don't care if it hurts our draft picks in the least bit.
I'm with you.
For sure.
My opinion.
All right. My Bolts Burner, thank you for asking
And
the question.
pretty sure you're certified fresh. So, hi.
We work on pretty sure's here at Charger Shop.
We're pretty sure, possibly, maybe.
All right. Well, we go out of Ask Boltfam with Mr. Pekar, who asked the question.
I am so pissed after this game, but not because of the Chargers losing. We are more banged up than those Pirate Hooker Village bicycle tramp stamped Raider fans are. I am pissed off at, dare I say, our social media Charger fans. Bolt the F up or shut the F up. Stop piecing and mourning and saying, I am thinking about leaving. I am thinking about selling my season tickets. Fire everyone and then we'll be good. Again, bolt the f*** up or shut the f*** up. You can be constructive and you can criticize, but stop being baby back bitches about it. But I guess it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Angry rant over. Now for some shamelessly positive feedback. That pick 6 from Bryce Callahan. Ooh, a single beauty. That 4th and 12 to Keenan Allen. It was sweeter than 15 Schnitzelgrubens drenched in sauerkraut and a night alone with Lily Von Stoop. The Finn Fornicators lost to the Niners and KC lost. My question is, if you were to name the Chargers season so far with a movie title, what would it be? Also, when we win out the rest of the season, what title then? Thank you. Okay, love you, bye.
Good.
I feel like I always get put on the spot with a lot of questions. I'm putting you guys for the movie title questions. This has to be a you guys answer for sure. And you better be good.
Let's see. So let's start one at a time. So the Charger season so far with a movie title.
I'll give you some adjectives to describe the season so far so you guys can think of a movie, okay?
All right. Let's hear it.
Disappointing, underperforming, really, really hurt. Think like gruesome, gore, injuries. Think about what else can we describe the season as? Hopeful in the midst of.
You're going dude, you were literally going all over the place. This isn't helping at all. My brain was going dark, and now it's going
feels
hopeful.
like.
I got it for you.
What the season
Easy.
is.
Okay.
Hope floats.
Never seen it.
Sandra Bullock picture. Hope floats.
All right. I can get behind that.
Rises.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
Not a great answer, but I was going dark. You
But it's a
brought
solid
the hope,
one, yeah.
The hope
and
came.
it floats.
Okay.
Hope floats.
And
I don't think this is necessarily a good title. It's more thinking about the movie, but maybe Castaway, where
Wilson.
everything just seems
Joey
like
Bosa
the
is
worst.
on an island alone.
You're on an island alone. Everything's gone. You just feel like there's no hope. But at the end of, spoiler
There's
alert for
still
anybody
hope.
that hasn't seen Castaway, but
Tom
shit
Hanks
works
gets
out.
found.
It's okay.
Yeah. He does get home and he's divorced, but he gets home.
But he
For
gets
sure.
home.
Yeah, he gets home. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
All
Something
right,
with
good.
like some kind of like hospital movie where like the surgeon's hurting all
You're
the
in a
patients.
coma?
Yeah, like something where like somebody's
Yeah.
getting hurt at a hospital. Like they're there for, something and somebody's just hurting them. Something like that.
Just hurting them.
Somebody's just hurting patients.
Is this a fan experience? Is
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
you're in a coma and you can see everything that's going on. And you can't do anything
Oh,
to stop
But
it.
all you
and
can
make
do
it
is
The
laugh
better.
diving
about
bell
it.
and the butterfly. He's
It's
sitting
like-
there
or
comatose and you can
the
see
Matthew
everything.
McConaughey movie where he goes into a different dimension and he sees himself at a younger age
Interstellar.
making a decision. Yeah, Interstellar. That's our season so far. You're like, you want to make it stop. You want to have the power to do something, but you're just sitting there watching bad things happen.
Or if you want to look at it where all you can do is laugh and nothing else, Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
Everyone has, all the kids have cancer, but
Laughter
it's
is
a
the
fun
best
one.
medicine.
Everyone's hurt on the Chargers, but we're gonna laugh.
But we
about
might as
it.
well laugh about
Might
it.
as well have a good time.
I like it.
There's
all
some
right.
titles.
Options.
Those subtitles for
Okay.
you. Good question.
And so,
That's a good question.
well, now if we went out the rest of the season, what is our movie title? Remember the Titans, or is that too on the nose?
Oh, what
It's
was it?
Never too on the nose.
What's?
It's-
Oh no! What is that movie?
Remember the Titans is like the answer in Sunday School of Jesus. It's just always right. It's always the right answer.
Always the right answer.
Just remember the Titans.
What is the name of
Is
that
it-
movie?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Nailed it. I mean, yes.
I mean,
but
good answer.
not what we were looking for, but good answer.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Give me some hints there, Kevin. Like, what are we talking
I'm
about?
looking it up right now because it's
Are you going to type in what is it? What is it? What is it? And
what is
find
it? What is it? The Expendables. We're gonna win with all. It's a team effort. We're all gonna
Yes.
come together and be a little, not quite the tip top, but we're gonna
Yes.
get it done.
There you go.
With Sly Stallone, the Expendables.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, because
There's
all
a few.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, if you've got a better idea, put
And
it down
then
in the
there's so
comments.
many
I
better
wanna
ones
see
out
it.
there. Yeah,
These
I'm
are
sure
right
there
off
are.
the cuff.
Yeah, this is
off
us
the cuff.
going like,
We're usually good at this. Something.
can I buy a vowel?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Pekar, thank you for asking the question. And
Thank
thank
you,
you,
sir.
everybody, for asking questions and
Boys.
Ask Boltfam.
This was too long.
We
We lost to the Raiders. This still
we-
turned into an hour and 47-minute episode.
we had to talk it out.
Kyle.
This
we
is
did.
it's the talking cure. You know, we got it.
so much.
You're right. I hope we were helpful to somebody out there.
Absolutely. That's really one of the
I feel
main
better.
things.
I don't know how you feel, Adam. I
All
feel
right. Well, there
good.
you go. We helped.
I'm
Kevin.
ready to beat the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Screw you, Al.
slap two around.
You, Darby.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
No, it's tough. Losing to the Raiders is like losing two games at the same
It's
time.
bad.
So
Yeah, it's really hard.
we will come back. We will get better. We're going to win some of these games down the stretch, and hopefully it's enough of them.
All
We're going
right.
to prove Acho wrong on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. Justin's
Herbert's
pissed.
the guy.
You know he's heard that. You know he heard it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
He loves you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
You could be the next millionaire with the underrated Callahan's Pick 6 Lottery. Make it look easy and win big with Callahan's Pick 6 Lottery. Just pick 6 numbers and win big. Drawings every Sunday from September to January, so get your ticket today for Callahan's Pick 6 Lottery.